It is 5:30. We are going to start. Since we're Toastmasters, we like to start on time. Welcome, everyone, to our online marketing webinar, where you will learn easy tips to use LinkedIn, Meetup, and your own website to draw interest and attendance to your business, club meetings, and events. I'm Megan Mayer, Division A Director for District 101 Toastmasters, and I am glad you are here. We have 3 panelists for you tonight. Each will present their topic of expertise. We will have 1 to 2 questions and then move on to the next panelist with the general Q&A after. During each panelist presentation, please go ahead and post your questions in the chat. We will try to get to those in the specific section or during the general Q&A. And before the close, we will have 1 more email or newsletter marketing tip from each panelist for your benefit. Our first panelist, Kalpana Arota, is a program manager at Oracle. She is also Division E Director at District 101 Toastmasters. Kalpana shares with us best posting practices on LinkedIn. Please welcome Kalpana Arota.
Thank you, Megan, and good evening, everyone. I'm so excited you have joined. You logged off your work a little early to be present here, which tells me that there is a will. And I'm here today to share a few tips of how I manage my personal LinkedIn account or a company account that I'm managing, actually a nonprofit account, what I do, and I'll share those tips with you and see if that makes a way for you. Before I really launch in though, actually now Megan, could you please launch the 2 polling questions? Please, this is just a, are people able to answer yes or no here? Thank you, Megan. Before I kept thinking how I kind of knew the audience here is going to be, they would know how to use LinkedIn for personal reason. And our data has just proven that 78% of the people who have logged in today, they use it for their personal use. Most of you actually already know what LinkedIn is. So I wanted to start with saying, like, defining this why again. Why should you be using LinkedIn or anything for that matter for thinking about increasing the membership for clubs? And for that, I have come up with this small little thing that I personally, I'm fascinated with how retailers have been using the data to increase their sales. This should not be, everybody should be probably familiar with this. This is Target. Target sells all kinds of things, including electronics, clothing, groceries, fresh produce, anything. You walk in Target, you will most definitely find what you're looking for. Millions of users or millions of shoppers walk into Target every year, and without realizing, we give them terabytes of our data by using the Target card, by using loyalty card, by using coupons, whatever that come our way. What's really happening with that data? Target looks at your shopping. Target looks at the things and says, oh, this is what this person has bought. So for example, if you bought 2 cereal boxes, but no milk, Target would now try to sell milk to you. They will create a custom coupon for you and send it to you and say, milk goes with cereal. Next time, maybe they will, and this customer is buying milk from somewhere else. Why not from here? Target has given so much thought into this data science and they to improve or increase their revenues. Now, if you were to do a parallel with LinkedIn, LinkedIn has 740 million users or members, 40% of the users access it daily, and that creates 1 billion interactions every month. We already know that people who want to create their professional network, they are on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the #1 site where you will create your professional network. People come onto LinkedIn for creating, connecting, job searching, looking at companies or organizations, looking at finding who's working at which company. Really, LinkedIn is providing all the tools that can make, for us, we can visualize and see who's watching our profile, who's looking at our posts. LinkedIn is giving it all to us. So the real question is really not why. The real question is why not? Why not use LinkedIn? Now, LinkedIn is a brand. Toastmaster is already a brand. There are, last I checked, there were 345,000 or plus members as part of 16,000 plus clubs around the world. Toastmaster is not unknown. People know when you say Toastmasters, they know which organization it is. What we are trying to do is bring this very known brand into this place called as LinkedIn, and now interact with these so many members that are coming in and out of LinkedIn to say, hey, if they are looking something specific for communications or public speaking, should they be looking at Toastmasters too? And how do we do that? We do that by starting or signing up for an account. You create your profile, you add your profile picture, you become visible, you be out there in that field. If you don't have, and now when I looked at the poll, I saw only 4% of the people said that they have LinkedIn presence for their clubs. This is a huge opportunity. If you haven't thought of it, or if you're using any other social media and promoting it well, that's good. And if you're getting results from there, that's even better. LinkedIn could be your other social handle for this. For the people who do not have LinkedIn accounts or for their clubs, you can consider having a group or a page. Groups are better because they foster dialogues, they promote dialogues between people. Company pages are more for just giving or providing company information. So you may want to think about having a group. And when you are creating your online profile or LinkedIn profile, put your best foot forward. Write a short paragraph, describe your club, describe its culture, purpose, accomplishments. Remember, I think the last survey was done, people's attention span is decreasing day by day. You speak for 30 seconds, for some people that's too long. If your company profile is not catching their attention in like first few sentences, they will move on. Make sure that you show personality of your club in that very short paragraph that you're talking about. Always have instructions. Somebody looks at it and says, hey, I'm ready to jump in. How do I get started? Have instructions always handy. How do you become a member? Give links to the forms that they can submit for you. Never give your personal email IDs or your Zoom links in that message, but have a form get submitted and then contact them. That's where the first, and you can invite them for your meeting as a guest. And always request endorsements from your team members. Endorsements show you that what you are saying is backed up by some people. Your claims have backing, and it is very, very powerful in making connections. Now we know if you created it as a brand, how do you use it effectively? Using effectively on a social platform, you should just know a few things. You have a group. You have even your Toastmasters from your club are part of that group. Decide how often to post. You don't have to overcommit, but commit to a point where you can keep that cadence, and decide on your content type. Your content type could be inspirational, informational, motivational, accomplishment-based, call to action. It could also foster the dialogues. Keep it fresh, keep it with pictures, add people's pictures there. Those get more hits. Now, LinkedIn gives you these powerful tools, hashtag and @ mention. Hashtags is a powerful thing to add to your post because you know certain people are following certain things. For example, for hashtag Toastmasters is followed by approximately a little over 4,000 followers. Leadership, 3 million plus. Go into their newsfeed. People who are following these hashtags, your post will go to their news feeds even if you're not connected with them. Ad mention increases your reach. As many ad mentions multiplies as many people as you will reach to. And finally, find out what best days are to post. Never post on Sunday. Like you, everybody else is dreading that Monday. Don't post on Sunday. They're not on LinkedIn. But the best days to post are Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And if you decide to post only on one day a week, choose Wednesday. Now, I'm just going to go through a few of my posts. Post with a purpose. You should have purpose in your mind. Do you want to post it to give the information? When I was selected as a division director, approximately a year back now, I posted it in my professional network. I wanted my network to know that I am pursuing this something leadership opportunity outside of my work. I wanted people to know. You post invoking emotions. You want to know, you want to tell about something that was going away from you. You talk about that. And the bigger thing is not always the likes. See how I've highlighted 6,070 people have viewed this post. I have had no call outs, only I had a few hashtags on this. I may not have the best likes in this, but I do know people saw this. Post to show your excitement. This is just when we were hosting our division contest. I just went out there and looked, and I can tell you a few of my network people joined that day in this contest. So I'm just going to quickly wrap up about the LinkedIn. You should always know why you should have a LinkedIn page or group, and you should define your how. Define the team. It's not an I job. You really have to have a team who can promote with you. Some specific tasks have to be called out with the team members. Be consistent. Show consistency in your posting. Create posts that invite conversations and encourage team members to keep posts active. And make your social LinkedIn presence known to your guests. So when somebody comes as a guest, invite them to join your group. More than when somebody has seen faces and they become part of a group, conversations start looking more personal to them, and you never know, that will convert become your member. And so here's to finding new possibilities using LinkedIn. And with this, I'm giving it back to Megan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kalpana. Very interesting. Now, I have to say, in order to keep us on track with time, it's 5:43. I'm going to go ahead and move us on to our next section. But first, I would like to invite everybody to please go ahead and post in the chat where you're visiting us from, and go ahead and post your LinkedIn profile, and we can all connect with each other. And let's move along. Now, our next panelist, Solazar Della Porta, is a motivational speaker, a mentalist, and a mystery performer. Solazar is also District 101 Toastmasters Club Extension Chair. Solazar will share easy but important steps to use Meetup effectively. Let's welcome Solazar Della Porta.
Well, thank you, Megan. I'm actually also a consultant to the Department of Defense, so I still am. So I want to let you know that's what pays the bills. So thank you, everybody. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about LinkedIn. Oh, wait a minute. This is Meetup. I'm sorry. So let's move right ahead. So I actually created a small little poll, but we're going to skip it. So go ahead and how many of you actually have a Meetup account for your club? Just raise your hand. Just raise your hand so I can see it. That's a thank you very, very much. And so if you don't have a Meetup account, Meetup's designed to introduce people with shared interests to each other. It has less of a maintenance management than LinkedIn. LinkedIn, like all social media and Meetup, requires care and feeding. Social media becomes your children. You have to care, you have to feed, you have to raise them. They require attention. Meetup organizes online groups to host in-person and virtual events for people with similar interests, just as LinkedIn does, but it's another mechanism for that. Now, District 101 has a Meetup site, which I'm listing here, and you're going to get these links later as well. And anyone who does not currently have a Meetup site for their club within District 101 may submit a request to District Meetup and post your club meetings as an event. They'll host it for you. It costs you nothing. As you can see, District 101 has 1,193 members on their current Meetup site. So when you post there, you know that at least those 1,200, roughly 1,200 members are going to get your event. But secondly, we're going to show you how you send it out further through using those hashtags that Kalpana was talking about. Now, this is what it looks like when you go to set up your Meetup event. You're going to manage your group. You're going to create your event. You have about, events, members, photos, discussions, and more. Just as Kalpana mentioned with LinkedIn, in Meetup, you want a group. You want a group, and the LinkedIn site that we're going to give you shows you how to create and manage your events for your group. You create a group, and then all of this, and we're going to give you this link, tells you how to host the event, how to create it, how to edit it, how to enable a wait list for your event, which means it automatically sends out notifications when you update your event to your member list and your wait list. Viewing the event for members, how to download the attendee list, movable map pins if you need geography, but when we're online, we don't need geography. And how do you manage attendance? Sharing it, you can post to Meetup and have it automatically post to your Twitter or Facebook account if you also have an account that goes with your club. So announce your events, canceling, editing, creating, repeating, and canceling. Now, the link is going to be given to you for that. This is not the session to teach you how to do that, but we're going to give you this link in the chat room in a little bit so that you can go to this and find out how to best effectively use your Meetup group to advertise your club. Now, when you're using Meetup, you have to remember the magic of 3. 3 is a very simple thing. You see, when you publish an event, first thing you want to do is notify your club members to RSVP for your event. We're going to touch into that. Your club members need to be a member of Meetup. It's free, costs them nothing to be a member of Meetup, but they need to do it because your PR for your club is an extension of your entire membership. We want them to play ball with us. We need at least 3 RSVPs for each event for the event to be published to the Meetup community. Now, when I was talking earlier about District 101, that's just the District 101 community. When we get our 3 RSVPs, our Meetup event is now available to everyone on Meetup. And if we don't get the 3 RSVPs, then it won't show to the entire community. It'll show on the Meetup calendar up at corporate, but it won't show to the community at large. So I always notify my executive committee and then my membership. You can do it as one SWAT. Go out and RSVP to the event. If you're bringing guests, also indicate that at that time. Now, to RSVP, the club members and officers must create a Meetup account so they can be Meetups and RSVP to your event. This is a listing of some of the people who are members of the District 101 account. And to create a free Meetup account from your desktop and mobile, you just go to meetup.com, you click sign up in the upper right-hand corner, and boom, you have the option to use your email or connect through Facebook or Google to create that individual account. Now, you've got to get your members to play on this because it's not enough for you to create the group and you to create the events if you can't get them published out to the Meetup community. Now, when posting, as Kalpana mentioned, it's the same thing here. Use pictures and photos of members. Keep your descriptions here short and to the point. When you're posting, there's 2 times you want to post on Meetup. One is before your event, and the other time is after your event. Now, unlike the LinkedIn, you want to post before your event. So if your event is on a Monday, you may want to post on Friday or Saturday or Sunday. But if it's on a Wednesday, you want to post before Wednesday to say, XYZ Toastmasters will meet this coming, I use Tuesday here, but I'm referring to Kalpana's Wednesday at 6 p.m. What's the meeting theme if you know one? If you know the speakers and what they're going to talk about, you can put that in. But also, as Kalpana mentioned, you need a response link, an RSVP link, or an email, non-personal, that can be used. You don't post your Zoom link and you don't post personal emails. If you have a Free Toast Host website, you already have a generic email that can be used there that can go to either your club officers, your vice president of membership, vice president of PR, or you can create a generic Gmail account for your particular social media posts that can go to whichever officer you want as your club. Don't post personal emails on social media. Now we're going to take a quick look. I'm going to stop this share and go back to another share very quickly to show you some social media posts from other. Here we go. Now this is the District 101 page. And the thing about the District 101 page is it ain't very pretty, but I'm putting it here because these photos represent over 758 club postings with photos, and that's what we want. For instance, here's Leadership 101, an advanced club. Notice what Leadership 101 does. It posts pictures that go along with their theme. It's not necessarily people in all cases, but they're themed based pictures to try to add some variety to their weekly postings. Here we have Friendly Toastmasters that shows all their members. And we all know our clubs are all little communities. And what brings people to our community is they have to see people that they say, I'm attracted to those people. They look like they're my kind of tribe. And so we want to show pictures of people, but we don't always want to keep them the same. So here when Friendly Toasters did their open house, notice they had the, okay, build a better you. Notice the shifting of the photos here. So what you want to do is make sure with each event posting each week, even if it's a recurring event, you want to change your photos up and make it unique. Here we have Venture Talks Toastmasters that was doing this one, but we got you covered. And then look at this one where they showed their people just on their Zoom screen. Once again, showing people doing things instead of just the plain old bland picture or photo of something that doesn't represent the community of their club. So use the community of your club every opportunity you get. Whoop, wrong thing, I apologize. Stop the share again. Make sure, as Megan mentioned several times, don't post personal emails. She put it in the chat. Don't post your Zoom links in your social media. Zoom links are provided in response to my RSVP or my email to you. You provide it back to me. That way you know who got it. Now, these are the hashtags recommended by District 101 to include in all your social media posts, Meetup, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you're putting that posting, because a hashtag actually aggregates all social media content with that hashtag. So if someone else is looking at hashtag toaster somewhere else, it's going to show yours because it's the hashtag you have in your postings. So use them liberally in all of your postings wherever you go. And that is my quick rush through meetup. So Megan, I'm available for questions, should there be any.
Great. Thank you so much, Solar. If we have a question, please go ahead and post it in the chat, raise your hand, or go ahead and unmute yourself and pose a question.
So while people are, go ahead.
Well, I'm curious if the timeline issue that like LinkedIn has good times to post, bad times to post, does that apply to Meetup? And if so, why? And if not, why not?
Well, here's why it doesn't apply. Your postings for social media, not talking about LinkedIn, is really about prior to your club meeting and after your club meeting. So therefore, you have to eliminate what's the best time, because if your club meeting is Wednesday, you can't post on Wednesday to say, here's my club meeting, that type of thing. So the issue really is you want one at least a day prior to your club meeting and at least a day after your club meeting saying, here's what we did. And later on, when we talk about newsletters, I'm going to refer back to that. I especially like the idea that Meetup allows you to post out to Facebook or Twitter, and those same posts can be used for newsletters, for emails, for everything else. So you can maximize one event. You can maximize it in multiple PR events. So
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We will go ahead and move on. Thank you, Solazar. Our next panelist is Venkatesh Ragala. Venkatesh is a principal engineer at Broadcom and Division C director for District 101 Toastmasters. Venkatesh shares basic tools to use a website to increase interest in your club, business, PTA, favorite garage band. Let's welcome Venkatesh.
Thank you, Megan. Let me share my presentation. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So before I glide through my slides, let me ask this question again. How many of you think you can add 20 members to the clubs? You can just raise your hands. Okay, I can see a few hands up. And how many of you think you can add 10 members to your clubs? Great. And how many of you think you can add 5 members? Great, great. It's a very positive sign. I'm trying to see the pulse. Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you are always right. Recently, I started reading a book, Limitless. The author Jim Quick says, if you want to succeed in your life, you need 3 M's: the mindset, motivation, and methods. I have no question about motivation. You guys took your time and showed up here. And I was sensing your mindset. All those who raised your hands, I'm sure you guys will add tons of members to your clubs. Now I will dive into the section of these methods of the website. If you are just starting as a new club, you're wondering, there are tons of options. Do I need to pick Free Toast or Easy Speak? Do I need to pick a custom website? I don't know how to design a website. Should I use an Excel sheet? Will it be lame to use an Excel sheet? Should I just use Meetup just for my club, all my club proceedings? These are all correct answers based on your own situation and your club positioning. Free Toast Host is the widely used website by most of the clubs. I have been an area director, club president, and currently serving as a division director. Most clubs use this. There is a reason, because it's very easy to set up and it's very easy to maintain, and it's fully automated for Toastmasters and maintained by Toastmasters. They provide all the templates, and if you open their website, they automatically update the backend content of why Toastmasters, all the kind of stuff. The only thing is you just need to customize it with your club information, which I will go in the later slides. On the Easy Speak, some people are very fascinated with Easy Speak, but it's very difficult to understand and it's not very intuitive. Some people say it's very easy to schedule and maintain as a VPE to schedule the speeches and tracking. On the custom website, some people are very savvy in creating their own website, and those are outliers. And let them do it if they are like very fascinated with that. And on the Excel sheet, if you're not yet chartered as an official Toastmasters club, like you can use Excel sheet as a platform to organize your meeting agenda and stuff. Meetup, like Solazar said, it's a great place to attract the people of similar minds, and it's fantastic, but it's really difficult to organize your meeting agenda on Meetup. Free Toast Host works really well to organize your meeting agenda. And let me go to my next slide. Success leaves clues, but this will not work unless you follow them. I have listed a few clubs, successful clubs in our district. Women lead Toastmasters. They are distinguished in just 3 months. I was so fascinated to look at their data. If there is like a president distinguished square, I'm sure like they will reach that. And I would advise all of you to study these successful people. And also I will advise you in all spheres of your life, whatever you want, study those successful people who have gone before you. They will leave clues and you follow them, for sure you will achieve success in life. And articulators, their president distinguished 10 DCP and Aptos Club. I just picked a sample clubs to demonstrate their caliber. And let's do a live study of this. And let me open Google and let's just look up their clubs and see like what they do. I will just take Women Lead Toastmasters. Are you guys seeing my screen? You can
Yes, we
see
are.
like perfect. So they have their own website and they have a Facebook page and they're very active on their YouTube channel. And they have listed several of their key speeches and which will entice and attract several members. Once a speech is done, it is done. But if you record it and use it and market it wisely, it will serve you for a long while. They're even on the Apple podcasts. They have some creative minds there. Okay, and let's check the other club, Articulators. If you see this club, this one is a free toast host website. They're using free toast website and they're using Meetup and they're using a Facebook page and they're using Yelp as well. They're using Yelp reviews to gain their more social presence. And they're even listed on a high traffic website. And they're using Easy Speak as well. Like some VPs are very friendly with free toast host and some VPs are savvy with Easy Speak. So they maintain both. Okay, let's just check like quick scan on these ones. Look at their thing. They have their nice picture and they have their key questions to entice the audience and they have the description and all these details. And let's go on their meetup page. Look at their meetup page. They have 1183 members. Incredible. And they're constantly engaging members and having discussions and meetings. Okay. And let me go to the Facebook page. Their Facebook page, they have tons of members and they have duplicated all the content because not everybody is a LinkedIn person, not everybody is a Facebook person, not everybody is a Meetup person. You want to have your club on different platforms so that you can attract all those new members to your club. They're even on the Yelp and they're even listed on a high traffic website. This is like India Community Center where people go, they provide event space and there's like a gymnasium and a preschool, all parents, and they'll be visiting a lot of stuff. So they presented their club here. So they have access to tons of people. Let me go back to my slide. What are the lessons? What are the lessons after studying these successful clubs? They have a strong web presence, they have a Facebook page, and some people do have LinkedIn groups, and they have a meetup page, and get your club listed on a popular high traffic website groups, and get your club reviews on Google, Yelp, and Facebook to gain more web presence to your club. And must-haves on your club website, definitely a lively picture of your club meeting, if not a lively video, and contact persons who can provide more information about the club. You don't want to, sorry about that. You don't want to lose the members just because they can't find out whom to reach out. And provide an instant way to get the Zoom link for your meeting, considering Zoom bombing. Megan advises not to put your Zoom link. Several clubs put Zoom link, but there is a better way to do, like you can put once they register and subscribe with the email, you can instantly respond to them with the Zoom link. That could be like a Woohoo response or a Google form or Zoom registration itself. And provide a sample teaser video of your club meeting on your YouTube channel, which will hold the key speeches of your clubs for the benefit of the guests. That way they can see the sample meeting, and if they're interested, they can contact. And pre-meeting tips: generate the energy before the meeting like our host tonight did. Simple tricks for drawing customers to your clubs and businesses using LinkedIn, Meetup, and your websites. She posted this on her platforms. So similarly, we can all do before our club meetings, just to keep accountability for the speaker as well as to attract more members. Post-meeting tips: leave the review to the teaser of the speech and ask the speaker to post the full speech right up to the media platforms if they're okay with that. Create that post-meeting energy to inspire the members to attend the next meeting. In summary, pick a website that works for your situation and pick your social media platforms carefully, and make sure you connect your website with the social platforms, and make sure you generate the energy and enthusiasm in the members by providing a teaser of your upcoming speeches, and provide the write-ups and reviews after the meeting. And make sure you assign an editor and a webmaster to manage effectively as part of VPPR team. Thank you so much. Back to you, Madam Host Megan.
Thank you, Venkatesh. All right, so much information tonight. We have a question in the chat, and that is about YouTube. It's already been answered. YouTube channels are free, but it leads to another question for Venkatesh. Can you tell us about, you talked about using photos and using videos. Can you expand a little bit more on why we want to do that and what would be most effective?
Because if someone visits a club, they will be visiting several clubs. You want to differentiate yourself from the rest of the clubs. If there is a lively picture, they know that this club is active. If there are no pictures, there is no person to contact, that means they know, or at least they will judge based on the initial information. It's not a club worth visiting, or nobody is welcoming them. They can guess from the people's verbal gestures and facial expressions, oh, that's a club I should go to. I can tell from the womanly Toastmasters, I made an impression. I made a schedule to visit that club someday. I don't know when, but yeah, it's that kind of a feeling you should get in the visitors. Like, wow, this is an awesome club. One day I should visit that club.
Thank you. And can you talk a little bit more about using Meetup or using a Facebook or LinkedIn group instead of managing a separate website?
The Facebook, Meetup, and LinkedIn, they're fantastic platforms to attract the outside members. The Meetup costs you some money. That's the only thing. But if the platform is really working for you, you could charge the club members as part of the club dues. It costs like $100 for 6 months for the membership or something like that. But Facebook and LinkedIn, they're very powerful tools. Like once you create a group, it will ask you the option invite. It will give you immediate access to entire database of 500 people or something. It's when you are waiting for something, you can just, in the invite, you can just select all the people and just press invite. It will automatically invite all those people to that groups and in LinkedIn and Facebook. It's really powerful tool. And if you want to add members exponentially, you should try Facebook and LinkedIn groups, especially. I am in the process of chartering a new club, Savvy Investing Toastmasters. I just created the Facebook group and invited 70 people. Out of them, like currently 20 members joined a group. They will potentially be the members because they saw the content and we posted the video of all the details of our club.
Thank you so much, Venkatesh. I think Solazar has something to add.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to the $99 every 6 months for Meetup. For those people in District 101, when you become part of the District 101 meetup, you don't have to pay. That's the advantage of that. So I wanted to stress that. So it's only when you create a group independently, you do have to make that payment. And everything Venkatesh said about Facebook, you could also do with Meetup, although there's a difference between really a robust website. You could use Meetup or Facebook as an outwardly facing website if you don't have one, but you can't do the meeting management and some of the other things that Venkatesh also managed. So that was it.
Thank you. Helpful. Yes, Venkatesh.
Yeah, so Meetup is fabulous in attracting the general population, but these social networks are fabulous in attracting your own network, because you have, say, like 1,000 people in your Facebook. You can go send an email to everyone. It takes a long time. If you just create a group and just like invite, takes like 10 minutes to just select all those people, and you will just get like 60 people like who are interested, which you didn't expect at all.
Great, thank you. Do we have any general questions from the audience for any of our panelists? I think
I have a
I see a hand.
Sarah,
Go ahead and
Sarah
unmute
has-
yourself.
There I go. You can now. There you go. Yes. Is there assistance through District 101 to guide you through some of these processes if you wanted them to help you in improving the Facebook page of your club, or if you wanted assistance with the website and good content ideas and layout, all of these, but is this kind of support available through the district?
What a great question. Thank you, Sarah. It is absolutely available. If you go to the d101tm.org website, there'll be a resources tab or a column. Down that column, PR resources is available. We have an entire team at the district that will help clubs learn all of these platforms, how to maximize them, how to market your clubs. I tell everyone that I mentor that Toastmasters is the best place to learn how to market your own business or yourself on any of these platforms. Of course, legally marketing yourself. It's just a fabulous way to learn how to use social media, how to use Meetup, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all of them. Yes, there's a full support team for you. Thank you for that good question.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I do have a question.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm trying to, use my words. Is there any one platform? Because I am just now learning the social media. I'm very well aware of how important it is, especially for personal business. Is there any one special platform that I can focus on learning that would bring the most traffic, or that has proven to have the most traffic into our club?
That's a good question. I know Solazar. Well, let's go to Kalpana. We haven't heard from Kalpana in a bit.
I will quickly say a few things. And this is true, I think, for social media platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm not too sure about Meetup, but Meetup also, I think the more people are joining, that brings up visibility high. But for any social media platform, for your post to go somewhere, you really need the team effort. It is your club. You should have a team. It's almost like, you're going to go buy a vegetable in that stand. People come and they keep moving the vegetables here and there. You posted something, somebody else posted something, then you need somebody to come back to that stand and say, hey, my thing is really down. I want to bring it all on top. How do I do that? Add conversation starter, share it, repost it. This this mechanism is true irrespective of which platform you go to. You go to Facebook, you go to LinkedIn. The minute you have a team working with you to keep that conversation alive for some time, so that you know it has gained a lot more visibility than what you were hoping for, that's when you stop. Other than that, it has to be something, just good practices. Keep your good practices in place and keep following them. And I think the visibility will come automatically.
Thank you.
And Solazar, can you share your thoughts too, please?
Well, Chuck Nolan just put a wonderful comment in the chat, and I'm actually going to use that as a baseline, which is, LinkedIn is very much of a professional community that you're reaching out to, if that's what your membership's going to be. And it's wonderful for that. So do that. Facebook is going to be more of just a general community, if that's what your group is. Do that. However, there's no one answer for any of this. What Kalpana said is absolutely correct. You have to be consistent. You have to keep it alive and active. And you do one, you get your team engaged, you work on that one, and then you add another one. When Venkatesh was talking about, do you want 20 members? There's probably not one thing that'll bring you 20 members, but there's probably 10 things that'll bring you 2 members. So you want to find the 10 things that bring you 2 members. And that's going to take some time, but you have to give each of them attention, just like having multiple children. Except the middle child. You can ignore the middle child. Just do
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Solazar. So we have a question in the chat from Jenny about privacy of videos. And I would like to open this to our 3 panelists after I ask Bastian Raymond, if you're in the room, to please share this, because I know you share videos privately to your club.
Thank you for the question, Megan. So in Oratory Orders, what we do is we record the meetings, we use the Zoom consent function, and we share a YouTube link, and it's an unlisted YouTube video. So I think that is not answering Jenny's question, because she does not want to unlist the videos on YouTube. But that's what we do, and it has worked for us. People constantly being recorded at the beginning of the meeting, and therefore there's no legal implication. And then we still protect their privacy as much as possible by sharing that link only through the newsletter and with prospective members and members.
Thank you, Bastian. Let's invite our panelists to share. Anyone?
Actually, Carrie and Renee Yao from Women Lead also have a lot of experience with videos. Do you mind if we ask what they would do?
Sure. Renee, I think you're here. Can you share with us?
Could you just repeat the question one more time?
Yes. What is your policy on sharing videos while protecting member privacy without actually unlisting them?
Right. What I do, or what we do, is at Women Lead, we at the beginning of every meeting, there's usually a portion where the president will get to speak, and then I'll always say, we're about to record a meeting. If you do not feel comfortable, turn off the video, then otherwise it will be used for promotion purposes. So for that reason, they are giving you consent by leaving their video on. You can actually use the recorded video for promotion purposes. And of course, a lot of times, if you're gonna take a screenshot of people having fun, make it very obvious, right? Just say 1, 2, 3, we're about to take a screenshot. If you're shy, turn off your camera. So everyone say cheese, and this way you can put that into a newsletter and people will know about it. So yeah, that's how we do it. Just be absolutely transparent about what you are doing with the video or photos. And most people are very supportive of that, for sure.
Thank you, Renee. And I see we have a question from Arnie. Arnie, can you please unmute yourself and share?
Oh, this has to do with the YouTube thing. NPS Toastmasters has been posting speeches on YouTube for, boy, about 5 years or so. What we do, though, is whenever a member joins, they sign an explicit consent form as to whether or not to agree to have the videos posted. So the videos are public, so anybody can see them. And if a member decides to opt out, then their videos simply don't get posted. What I have done with them, though, is that every now and then somebody who, even if they've agreed, they say, well, I don't want this speech posted, so I won't post it. But I have found that the unlisted setting on the YouTube videos is generally people feel comfortable enough with it because it doesn't show up on searches, and you have to have that specific URL, which has a lot of, gobbledygook on it. So people have felt fairly comfortable with that. But again, what I found is having an explicit signed consent form is, I think, the best way to legally protect anybody who doesn't want their stuff out there.
Thank you, Arnie. And for our clubs in California, that is what we need. I see Carrie Glenn's hand up. Can you share your question with us or comment?
Yeah, another idea is to create a private Facebook group, one that can't even be seen, where posts can't even be seen by other members unless they are a member, and then have your group join that group, that Facebook group, and then you could post all your videos there and no one can see them. I mean, that's if you trust Facebook, which is always, obviously there's that, but I wouldn't be able to go in and just see your videos. Solazar wouldn't, Rita wouldn't, like none of us would have any access unless we were actually a bona fide accepted member of that group. So that's one way that you can do it totally privately. Well, again, the caveat of it being Facebook, but.
Great, thank you so much. All right, do we have any other questions? We appreciate all this input and these questions from the room. Well, I think, checking the chat, I think we're all right. I think we can move ahead and ask our speakers. First of all, let's give them all a round of applause. Great done, great job. A lot of helpful information. And all right, we would like to post in the chat 2 forms for you. One is a PDF cheat sheet for you, and it has some helpful links in there. And the other is a feedback form also for you, because we will be doing this again, and we want to make sure that we give you what you want. So please complete the feedback form, and please go ahead and download the PDF that's in the chat. And then we will turn to our panelists for their tip. Where is it? We have an email and newsletter tip that each panelist will share with us before they give us their final tip. So let's go to Kalpana. Can you share with us your favorite email tip?
With emails, I have seen that if you have a catchy title, catchy subject line, that people tend to open it. Also, don't make it so catchy that people start doubting it. That what this is this a virus? So you have to have that fine balance and keep to the point and short. I really believe that people actually want to really look at, like, exactly call out if there are actions to be called out. Make sure that you're calling out them specifically, and it's not like buried somewhere in your long text. Call out section should be separate so that you people have taken what you wanted to give, what you wanted them to take from this email. So keeping a good title which invites people to open, and keeping it to the point and short, and call outs clearly listed. is something that I like in an email. So I'll give that as a tip.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kalpana. Very helpful. Solazar, can you share with us your one email or newsletter tip?
Actually, mine were kind of compiled, email and newsletter tip all in one. I will make one comment with Kalpana said, make sure your action is right up front in your email. And as she said, not buried, it should be right up front. But I mentioned earlier in the meetup thing, and I think it applies to Facebook and everything else, is that if you're creating little blurbs, brief little blurbs, you can compile those and they become your newsletter later. You certainly reorganize them, give it some coherence when you put them together, but you take one consistent action and you keep repeating that action in different modes so that you can use it again and again. And it doesn't become as burdensome as when you're trying to do each thing individually. So if I put out a blurb saying, here's our meeting, and after the meeting I put out, Venkatesh spoke about this, Kalpana spoke about this, Megan spoke about this. It was a great time. We had 5 guests. We look forward to seeing you at our next meeting. That's now a blurb I'm going to pull out for a newsletter later. I'm going to say on this day, we had this meeting that these 3 people spoke, and I'm going to keep doing that going forward. So I think, and the other thing is be consistent. Once you start, don't do it for a month or 2 and then give up. You've got to be consistent all the way through and make it something you're doing all the time in order to get a result.
Thank you, Solazar. Venkatesh, could you please share with us your email or newsletter tip?
My tips would be, what you appreciate will appreciate. So make sure whatever you want to appreciate in your life, you appreciate them. What it means for a newsletter is make sure you include your recognition of the goals, a recognition section in your newsletter, and a clear vision of your goals so that all members know what you are targeting and they can help you clearly on your goals. And the key dates like what are the upcoming things. These are the 3 sections: recognition, clear vision of your goals, and the key dates. These are the 3 things I would make sure to include in every email. And the bigger the email gets to, the more time I spend reviewing it before I click the send button.
Great, thank you. Thank you. And we'll ask each of you now to please give us your one takeaway from your section. And then also please share with us, how has Toastmasters helped your career? We'll start with Kalpana, your takeaway and what you've learned through Toastmasters.
Takeaway for the LinkedIn session. One takeaway. Okay. LinkedIn section. LinkedIn is a tool. Use it. It's going to help you. Use the power that it provides. At mention hashtag, use the group, keep it fresh, keep it consistent, keep it live, and you will find the results, people joining your groups. And how Toastmasters has helped me. I've been with Toastmasters for now 5 years. I have taken, I started with a very simple thing about, I just wanted to know, I just didn't want to get kind of nervous when I'm presenting in front of people. But it's gone way beyond that now. It has taught me that it has life-changing, it has been life-changing for me. And so now every opportunity that I get to talk about its mission and how it's helping others, I take it. And that's why I'm here today. And I hope all of you are also enjoying Toastmasters journey and be in the mindset of giving back as you can. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you, Kalpana. And now we'll ask Venkatesh for your takeaway from your section and what has Toastmasters done for you?
My takeaway from my section, make sure you integrate social media with your club website. Otherwise, it's really difficult to market and get your new members. How Toastmasters helped me? It helped me a lot. First, it gave me confidence. And I started not forgetting my status things because of the heart throbbing. When I started giving my first status meeting, we used to give a roundtable meeting, and as it comes to my turn, unknowingly my heart started beating like very fast, like, okay. So now it stopped, and I overcome that feeling, and I can speak comfortably. There is a long way to go. And apart from that, it gave me a lot of confidence to interact with people. With that confidence, I was able to buy rentals. When I planned to buy rental properties, my friends told me that, hey, there is no way you can talk to these people. It's really difficult. And I told them I'm a Toastmaster. And with that confidence, I was able to dive in, and I own several rentals and I managed successfully. And also I attribute to Toastmasters, I'm still married and I'm a dad and a husband, because I learned to give proper evaluations. When my wife cooks, I don't say I don't like this curry or something. I just give in a proper Toastmaster evaluation for it. So those small things make a big difference in your life. Like the way you talk to your kids and your wife, and that's all matters. Those are the big things that matters. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Venkatesh. I agree. We join for professional reasons, but it definitely impacts how we communicate with family. And then last, Solazar, can you share with us real briefly the takeaway from your section and what has Toastmasters done for your career?
Thank you, Megan. From my section, what I would actually say is listen to what Venkatesh said and listen to what Kalpana said, as well as what I said, because everything everyone said applies to all social media, whether you use Meetup, LinkedIn, Facebook, or you're updating your website. Be very, very consistent. It was all great advice, and I think it gives you everything you need right there. As far as what I came away with from Toastmasters, it's really helped in my conviction rate. I've had 15 arrests and no convictions because I've been able to talk to the no, that's not true. But actually, what I was going to say is that actually I was always great talking in front of a group, but I was very socially inept and socially awkward. And Toastmasters taught me how to really relate, connect, and have communication and conversations with people. And that is really it. You may find that odd, but it's really true. Couldn't attend the networking event before Toastmasters, and now I'm very, very comfortable doing that. So.
All right, thank you. And let's give a big thank you to our three panelists. What great information they've shared.